When Andy asked me to come and Dr. Gibb asked me to come and talk to you, it's all based on something we did with all of the deans of the college and the superintendents of all the local school districts down in St. George. They wanted us to talk about using technology to enhance teaching in the classroom, and they told us that we'd have an hour and a half to do it when we went down to St. George. And I thought, you know, PowerPoint's just not going to do it today. You know, that's just what I thought. And the reason was I watched those people for 6 years in these conferences, and most of them are just like students. They're doing something else instead of listening or participating in the activity. And so we designed this with the idea of getting them engaged in what's going on. So we're going to let you do it today, and it's pretty straightforward. When it comes down to it, if we just handed you a sheet of paper, if you didn't get one, we'll give you another one. Okay? And that's one right back there, Al. And it's really quite simple. It's guys underneath. We teach it underneath the guise that the federal government is asking us to increase the mileage on our vehicles. But as far as I know, being from rural Utah, if you want to increase the mileage on my vehicle, I still need a vehicle that'll pull my cattle trailer, and it'll pull my boat, and it'll pull my horse trailer, it'll pull my everything else. And so there's really only one answer, because we know that the engine that we need is basically 30% efficient, and there's not much we're going to do about that engine. Now, we can change, make things littler and things like that, but the trade-off is we want to create higher gas mileage cars, but we have to do it with lower mass. Okay? So to do that, we have to protect the occupants. And so this little activity is about building safety into a low mass collision. In a physical science setting, we're talking about impulse momentum. Okay? We're trying to, why did you pad the dashboard of your car? Because when I was a kid, they were just metal. Okay? Why are they padded? Why does the driving column collapse when you run into it now instead of just being a solid piece of metal? Those are all say, why can you watch a NASCAR race or an Indianapolis 500, cars come to pieces and people walk away from them? You know, why when you get in an accident now do the airbags deploy, but everybody's okay? Okay? My grandfather would say they don't build them like they used to. Yeah, and I says, yeah, the occupants all walked away safe, but the car was totaled. In the old time, the occupants didn't do so well, but they fixed the car. Okay? That's the difference. And to do this, we do it quite easily. We'll give each of you a bottle. It's full of water. You'll have to, in the end, you can either drink the water or dump it out, either one you want to do. Full of water. We take an egg, just like this one right here, and you have to package that egg into some packaging that when we're done, you're going to shoot that egg into a wall, the brick wall out there in the foyer. You're going to shoot it in the wall, and it's to survive the collision. Okay? That's the goal. But you only get a certain amount of material to build with because we only have certain resources we can pull from. And you have to follow these guidelines. And the guidelines are right down here. It says your apparatus may be no longer than a meter. So if you can hold your arms out like from your shoulder, it can't be any longer than that. About 25 centimeters. We don't get real picky on these, so don't get too nervous about it with you guys. Because my high school kids, I'd be picky. But no, it's with you guys, 25 centimeters in width, and deal with that. But the hard one is you have to build it 250 grams or less. Okay? In other words, we could make it 1,000 grams, and when we shoot it, it would just come off the end. But we don't want that. We want a high-energy collision to happen here. So that's what you're dealing with. And then you can use anything we have in the sack for you to use to protect it. You can barter with any other table or any other group that's working on it for stuff. You can swap or share, whatever you want to do. But you want to try to stay within these guidelines. We'll put your egg inside of some press and seal stuff so that hopefully if it does break, we don't have to deal with that part of the project. Okay? And those are the kinds of things too. But you're going to sit down and deal with those kinds of things. It's much like this little clip. Last week we had Jim Lovell here on campus. And this is a clip that I remember from the movie very well. And this is what you're dealing with here. Which one?
5 filters on the limb, which we for 2 guys for a day and a half. So I told the doctor, they're already up to 8 on the anything over 15. Air judgment, blackouts, the beginnings of brain asphyxia. About the scrubbers on the command module, it takes wet cartridges, the ones on the limb around. This isn't the government operation. This isn't the contingency remotely looked at. Those CO2 levels are going to be getting toxic. Well, I suggest you gentlemen then wait for a square peg in a round hole.
Okay, Al, hold up your bag. You're each going to get a bag just like this. Here you go. Okay, so that's what you have. You have a pack of stuff you'd find in your kitchen or your house. Nothing special, except for the duct tape. It's pretty special, okay, to hold things together. And you're going to try to protect that egg in this collision. Now, when we talk about the egg in the collision, we're talking about, this is what it looks like. Here's one being launched. Okay, it has to survive that. Okay, so you're going to take the stuff that's back there.
How come you didn't show Josh's?
There's a reason. Okay, you take the stuff that's back there. You can work. How many are here, Al?
19.
So we can get groups of 2. We can have groups of 2. We have enough for 10 groups to work on it. We have scissors. We have duct tape. We have all the stuff. And you have, what time does seminar get over?
1 o'clock.
Okay, so we'd like to launch about 10 minutes to 1. So you have about 35 minutes to pull this together, because they're going to die. Okay? You got to do this, a round peg in a square hole. So go ahead. We'll get the stuff out and get you started. We'll help wrap your egg, but other than that, the tables are probably easier to work on. 2 people in a group, get after it.
Can I see Josh? Can I see Josh?
Okay, so just come back here and grab a bag of goodies and
Oh, that was Josh.
Oh, that was Josh.
set yourself down there.
Maybe. I think it was. What you don't see is, no, but there's egg all over the ceiling up above. That's what he's hoping to see. We had a mess. We had a
I should
catastrophe.
mention that there are some that have class at once. They're probably
We can have them ready. If they're ready to go, we can launch.
a little early.
When you're ready to go, you can launch. But it all happens back on these tables now. Whoops. I knocked somebody's water off.
Bailout program. I'll walk behind him.
A wet one, but
Your egg dropped this time. What was that?
and a hanger, why would you, okay. Instructional psychology and pedagogy. So you're trying to be a physics teacher?
Right now, I'm just giving an integrated science course. Integrated science is
So when are you like? You can make it
Just pack
like this one's flat, making this one fresh. I don't know.
So it's kind of like. So this one would flatten out.
Right. So we maybe strip this and then put some material so it
So it still has a little bit of resistance.
the resistance.
We do have tape. We do have tape. So it'd be like just slow down the trajectory or something.
Yeah. So. Like it's like, you know, on the highway, those barriers, they, but if we need this, think about other examples. So I think the way it's going to work is you're going to have 2 mechanisms. Like one thing, like stuff around the egg that slows it down, but then something else that's like going to have absorb a little
What do they use for shoes to
sweat.
So you want me to So should I go, do you want to use this or do you want to use a smaller one up front?
Let's think about it just for a little bit longer than we cut
Let's see, you guys got your eggs?
Layers of air pocket turned around. I wondered if you were to take something like this, we could do something where we're going to take layers of air and Oh, no. Great minds have the other layers.
This crashes against the wall.
There's definitely a third way.
Yeah, we could think about this. So we can distribute our force, we can absorb our force, and we could lessen our force with drag. Okay, so we can try to minimize that amount of force as it launches.
So is this getting shot or is this dropping?
It's being shot.
Out of what?
It's going to be air pressure.
How close impact?
1 meter. So drag probably isn't the wisest idea.
Shot from here to there?
Essentially 1 meter. So drag isn't
Do we
going
have
to be very good.
anything elastic so you can keep it going as hard
That's
as
our
it's gonna go?
That's a
propulsion.
possibility. So if you could attach it to the back of it, then it wouldn't even come off the launcher.
You could use those balloons as elastic tethers.
Good?
Ah, there you go.
Good?
On the. That sounds good. How much time do we have?
What's the scale part? I missed that.
250 grams per liter.
250 grams left.
Let's get that scale, see how much
Grams per liter. That includes water.
I'm afraid these aren't very soft.
That includes not full of water.
They're not very soft.
Think about when they transport
It
eggs.
includes the water?
250 grams per liter.
It's supported.
But the water doesn't count in the bottle.
have to be able to take the egg in a minute or less.
Oh, and take the egg out.
The bottle is not with water.
Should I go into this and measure how much
Easier
this
to tape on it. So I would say,
No, I can't.
why don't you put your ready to dump it on?
We all can throw it out.
I can put it, I have
It's just much easier.
Okay, and that's
Yeah, so you either.
No, there will not be any water in the bottle. We don't want to.
60 already.
empty.
How come you're using these guys?
Wait, are out?
Yes, yes.
Our egg has to be passed.
Little airbag, right?
Exactly.
Little airbag.
Do we do it twice? Go ahead.
You can barter with others.
We had one of those, in our class, we had one of those takeout areas, just a small one.
Okay, here's that little space shuttle thing.
Oh!
Okay, so this, but remember
In
that.
Indianapolis 500, they call where they put the car the tub. Where the driver rides is the tub. And they're willing to sacrifice the whole car for the tub.
We'll want to use these straws to get a little smooth.
I did good on ducking this time.
And then you could do like
Okay, that's good.
balloon compressions and then
Okay, now we
Oh, and then that would be where it's okay.
well, this would be like the split the egg would be
Oh, so it's going that direction.
Yeah.
I think it's going this direction. Oh, okay.
but then I guess the danger is that it would flip around and swing. How do we keep it from
How do we make sure it's flies
staying
straight?
It's really tight in there to the egg.
yeah, no, like so we would split this cup as well and then maybe put some more pipe in this a bit so it's a little more
Put cotton balls around it.
yeah, and cap it off on the other end.
That will.
How heavy is that? I didn't read that one.
So what do we have?
We moved your unbroken egg in 1 minute.
Should be able to.
So if we just keep this simple as one wrap. And I think actually we're having something around it like balloons or something to catch it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because we got to worry at least mass.
So, if more than one egg survives, then the deciding factor is
The apparatus and everything. So where's your egg?
It's a projectile point that will absorb the shock.
I can see what you're saying about actually having something around. Because I was just thinking about the initial attack that we have to think about before that. So I think that's wise.
I don't get the difference between no longer than 1 meter, no wider than 0.25.